Alright, I wanted to do a quick little video talking about ligatures. Now the ligature is this part of your clarinet, the part that holds the reed onto the mouthpiece. Sometimes we get confused where the ligature goes. There's a couple of different types of ligatures. This one is by the brand Ravner, and it's a little kind of a nicer version. You can see that it looks different. And it wraps all the way around, but it still does the same thing. It holds the reed in place. And this is a little more expensive, kind of nicer version. And a lot of you might have this one. And this one works just great as well. This one's awesome. So if you ever want to upgrade, you can get one of these. But one rule is these screws that you tighten, when you're looking at the reed, they always point to the right. Always. No matter if they're on the top of the mouthpiece like this one is, or, let me switch out my ligature, right? And normally I would never take it right above the reed like that because I wouldn't want to chip the reed. But I'm going to do that in this video, so don't do what I'm doing, right? Did you see how carefully I did that to make sure I didn't chip my reed? Right? This one, the screws are on the bottom, but they still face the right when you're looking at the reed. And then when you're tightening it, you don't need to over-tighten it. Right? You don't need to tighten it just as tight as you can. It just needs to be firm enough so that that reed is not going to move or slip. So just go till you can feel some tension, and then go just a little bit more, and that's great. Don't try to over tighten it. The other thing you got to be really careful about is you got to make sure, and it's hard to see with all the lighting in this maybe, but you got to see that the part of the reed that's shaved off, you can tell it's smooth here and looks a little rougher there. That's the part that's thinned out by a machine so that the reed can vibrate, and you want your ligature under that. You don't want it way down, right? Some of you, there's a line there. We talked about that, but you want to make sure you do that. So if I was to do that with this other ligature, then again, I'm going to make sure this one, it goes on the top. If I had it the wrong way, you would notice that it wouldn't even fit on all the way. It doesn't go all the way. And again, don't go over the top of your reed like I am right now, because you'll have a higher likelihood of chipping your reed if you do that. But you can see here, I'm going to line up my reed, make sure it's nice and set in place. I'm going to tighten it up. You can see that I put it low enough so it's under the shaved off part. Okay, so that's your ligature. There's different types, and they always point to the right when you're looking at the reed.